Good evening, viewers. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. In UK, it's 8 p.m. Um, so today we're gonna be talking a show called the Tech Savvy Millennials, changing the way we work. How must we bridge the gap to ensure that the millennials and the children in marginalized areas, benefit, from technology? So we know that, this generation, they call them uh, Generation Z or Generation Z. They live, beyond the box, just to transform or change our communities. They can be had by, a lot of people, like thousands of people, wherever they are, So e-learning is the norm now. School of YouTube, you know, so you can access, you know, education better than, before. You can do things, even like from your bedrooms, you know um, making music, cooking music, you know and you don't need to do, basking anymore. So you can derive income from, online, technology and stuff. And you know you guys are super savvy. You're mini trailblazers. you know you're also involved, in charitable work and stuff. You're changing communities, and the content that you're after, the content that is authentic. If you're not authentic, the tech savvy people will see, through you, and you'll be found wanting. So that's the beautiful thing that you guys are, you yeah, more about integrity and stuff, changing communities. So you've got a lot of potential, reaching out, masses and stuff, creating and driving the change, communities. And also that you've matured, through, you know uh, the online, technology and stuff. So you don't need to, go to work first and learn about your trade. You can, teach yourselves. Like I said, e-learning on YouTube, which is a beautiful thing. And, yeah, influencers. But the other thing that we would like you guys to do, not to be just influencers, and also, run, positions in, like, in these institutions and government, so we can see, a better change. So yeah, today we've got a lot of, panelists from different, parts of the world. We've got Long John from South Africa.
From
You've got
Zimbabwe.
Lauren.
Hey, whoa, Zimbabwe.
Okay, from
Yeah,
wait, he's
I,
based
I,
in South Africa and he's from,
yes, I
Zimbabwe.
stole someone's
Okay,
job in South Africa. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
okay, he's based in South Africa, but yes, he's the Chimani Money boy in Zimbabwe.
Exactly.
Thanks for
Yeah.
correcting me. And then we've got Laurette Tetero. She's from Rwanda, but she's based in Cyprus. And we've got Comrade Taku. He's based in Cyprus, but he's from Zimbabwe. And we've got Rutendo, based in Cyprus, but from Zimbabwe. And we've got Taku again. She's based in England, but she's from Zimbabwe. And we've got our elder, Mojoy. She's based in England, but she's from, Zimbabwe. So we're gonna start with Rutendo Guchu. You've got a degree in journalism, and you're doing masters at the moment in graphic designing and, brand managing. And also the other beautiful thing is that, you desire to inspire and to help the less privileged. And that's the beautiful thing about, tech savvy millennials. You always want to make a change in the community. Um, can you tell us your experience with regards to, technology, the benefits, and, what you've learned and stuff? Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Looking at my experience and what I've been through, technology has really helped me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a girl who is coming from the village. I know nothing, lack of resources, and I did my primary school, and you know, God came through. I went for high school at a boarding school, and things changed immediately, and I didn't know a thing. So technology has really helped me to actually gain knowledge that I didn't have, and it has helped me even in my career. And I had this passion that I want to be a journalist, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but there was no newspaper that I could read, to improve my skills and, get exposed. There was no
Mm-hmm.
TV for me to at least to look up to someone in the TV who is presenting. There was nothing like that. So technology has really, really helped me to be exposed to a lot of things that I should have gained maybe while I was in primary school. So those things now, when I got exposed to technology, I
Mm-hmm.
I managed now to get the knowledge and move on and pursue my
Mm-hmm.
career. And here I am. Like I said, that I'm just a girl who's coming from the village, and no TV, nothing, not a lot of motivation to say, okay, you are listening to the radio and you're like, oh wow, this is nice. There was nothing like that, but look at
Mm-hmm.
me now. So technology has really helped me in that way, and e-learning has really helped me a lot because you are now mixing with other people, you're mingling
Mm-hmm.
with other people, and they are somewhere in terms of the knowledge they have, and you're looking at yourself and like they already know this, and they got it maybe when they were still in their teens, like 12, 13, and oh, sometimes I laugh at myself, like when people
Mm-hmm.
talk about the movies they used to watch when they were still they were still kids, and I'm like, I don't know a thing. So technology has really helped me.
So you learned most of the stuff through things like YouTube, and I think you also mentioned that you improved your English, through YouTube. It was if it wasn't for that, then you're not gonna, be a better person and stuff.
Yeah, especially the English part. I really worked on it when I was
Mm-hmm.
now in at university. Imagine, I was now at university and I've already enrolled to be a journalist who doesn't know how to speak in
Mm-hmm.
English. It doesn't work like that. So, watching some nice movies, reading, you know, all these things has helped me a lot. And the other thing is mingling with other people
Other
who
people.
know what you don't know
Mm-hmm.
helps you
Mm-hmm.
a lot. So
You
if
know.
you want to improve, for instance, I wanted to improve my English. I have to
Mm-hmm.
mingle with people who speaks better than I do. So
Yeah.
by doing so, I was improving each and every day. I was improving. I
Mm-hmm.
faced some challenges whereby people would laugh at you like, who
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know how to speak English in this generation? I faced some challenges like that. I
Mm-hmm.
did. But, I pressed on because I had a goal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's the beautiful thing about of this generation. They're not afraid. They connect with other people, learn from other people. So that's another advantage and a good thing that we can take home because of technology. So we're gonna come back to you as we continue to progress with the show. So we've got more joy, Sinet. She's a registered general nurse, and she's got masters in health research, and you've got a certificate in systemic counseling and family planning certificate, and you're also a co-founder of Land Professionals, which is an organization that is made up of a number of people, um, and it's a health healthcare service provider, and you're the director of this company. And also, you've done a lot of things in the community. Um, you know, dementia, a consulted specialist nurse, and you've got 34 years of experience and extensive knowledge or experience in managing things like TB, HIV counseling, being a community psychiatrist nurse, you know so and the other thing that made me get excited and inspired by you know being awarded the title of Dementia Nurse of the Year in 2010 by Sterling University in RCN. Catching the attention,
Me
yes,
too.
catching the attention of uh, companies like BBC, Channel 4, and London News, and that is the reason why they had to broadcast, this beautiful work that you did in 2010. And I'm happy and I'm proud to be a Zimbabwean because you guys are showcasing your talent and stuff, and I'm hoping that you're gonna do more in Africa and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen
So,
your African movie. I think there's been an African movie that I've seen before. Yeah.
Are you talking of my songs, Shumba Majuda?
Yeah.
Maybe you're talking of my song. Yeah.
Oh, you
Well,
have a song? Wow.
yes,
so,
on YouTube, Shumba Majuda.
also you write songs as well.
You
Which I
see,
did
I
in my
knew it.
house.
Ah,
And I'm a mother to a singer also. He talks, he doesn't sing, he says it's rap music. I don't understand about this
okay.
talking, Mr. Mars, yeah, he does a lot of rap music. Well, that's me. I'm more Joy Sanity. Yes, in UK at the moment, but I originated from a village. Uzumba.
Yeah.
That's where I originated. I grew up with my parents in Mutoko, which was also, they were teachers, and we were, in a village, very poor village. And obviously, I was dreaming, before these shoes with wheels were there, I was dreaming a dream where the people were moving with shoes which have got wheels. And now I was saying, how can this be with all this sand? How can shoes have wheels, And I wish I had put it in writing or something at that young age. Maybe right now I could be a millionaire because I now see people moving with shoes with wheels. But that was just a dream. I didn't know there could be any pavement. Well, we rarely went to Harare, to the city. We grew up right in the villages in Mutoko. And you know what? From there I became a temporal teacher, and then when you're teaching and you don't have libraries, we don't have all this planning. You have to use your head. All these things. I went through that, and then moved to Harare to be trained a nurse and stuff like that. We didn't have any computers when I was doing my business studies at UZET. University of Zimbabwe. We didn't have any computers then, but we were doing business studies, and I didn't complete that because coming to doing a project, I needed to research, and I was just like, where do I go? I'm not a very good person with books, going to the library to pick up so many books to research on that. So my business studies ended up being a certificate and not a diploma. And then I moved to UK where there was all sorts of internet access, everybody is, I think in my house, I don't know how many computers I've got, laptops, iPads, all these things, everyone has got their phone, and like I was saying the other time, that everyone, including grandchildren, have got computers, iPads, and the phone. Each of us is not communicating verbally, we are communicating on our on our gadgets. So yes, I can see the advantage of us doing that, and how I wish if I could have access to funding so that my projects in the villages in Zimbabwe, South Africa, Ghana, Zambia, Malawi, all these places where we are trying to develop Africa dementia services, we need gadgets. I need just a phone to say, how is it there? Someone will say, I don't have data. I can't talk. I don't, you want something urgently. We want to do researches. and we want to do interviews. We need phones with data, and we need a hub, so that we can have access to information. Dementia is not known in Africa, and somehow people are abused. They think that they are witches when they have memory problems, but people do not understand. Every one of us is going there. We are growing older now with technology. We can diagnose diseases through the computer. Like you are saying, you can investigate and you can immediately seek for assistance. But you know what? What we have done is eradicate disease, and people are living longer. They are going to be having dementias, which are brain damages, and the brain deteriorates anyway with aging. But if we could have access to technology in the villages, I think in Africa as a whole, it would be much easier to be at the level where the world is.
Yes.
I will talk more about my work as a charitable work and also a missionary. I'm a Christian. We have started Regeneration Center in United Kingdom, and we are providing these services there in many countries. Philippines, for instance. I went to many European countries. The Philippines, when you see it on the map, it looks like a dot, but actually it has more than 700 islands. So many islands, so many different islands when you go there. And do you know what? They also don't have much. They are poor people. They need help. They need us now, Africa, to go and help them. Everywhere. Thailand, you go Thailand, is still the same story. Africa has got to arise. We have the ability to arise. And a lot of Africans or Black people, they were innovators. Even now we talk of globes, we talk of electricity. Some of these things were invented by Black people. But it's so amazing that when they have invented, because they think they have no money, they sell the idea to people who have money. And then the name on that label is no longer a Black person. So you see, even some of the electric cars right now, they are invented by Black people, and they are moving. They are now in America developing this model of a car, which has been started by a Black person. So I feel that we need to embrace what God has given us. It's a given gift for Africans to be artistic, innovative, and now we need technology to do that. I'm a tech-savvy grandmother, as I told you before, I've got grandchildren, but obviously I've analyzed and seen the disadvantages and advantages of technology. It's about how we will assess what is good in it, and we utilize that. Do you know, even like diagnosing people, those with heart problems, you can use the 3D imaging printers and print another heart and use that model to replace the heart. Things like that are happening. So what I'm saying is, yes, the world is moving very fast. And as Africans, we need to move with the same speed which the world is going.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, having worked in a developed nation like England, you've seen the benefits of technology and stuff, and so you want that to be also implemented in Africa, like at a full scale, so they can benefit more, and also making our own products, not just consuming those products
making our own products, valuing ourselves. Yes, we
and
need
the
to
other
value ourselves.
I think we're getting there. And the other good example is Rwanda. I think at the moment they are now producing their own mobile phones, 2 mobile phones. So
Wonderful.
we're getting there. So we have to do more of that, courtesy of technology. So we're gonna come back to you. We've got Taku Sahanga. Yeah, digital marketer, visual illustrator, digital designer as well. And you've also got a degree in business management. You love, art, you're artistic and stuff. And this, you've done this through because, using, things like technology. And you work with, charitable organizations when you're doing your work, doing branding, and also working with, some pharma companies. Um, you know, you've seen the benefits of, technology, that, it's reached out a lot of audience. And also you've worked with like countries in Africa, even though you came here in UK at a tender age of 9. So I mean, you've also, experienced, the difficulties and challenges and good things, working with, countries that are not in Europe. So over to you. Just tell us, about the advantages or benefits of technology, when in your experience of, uh, the companies that you've worked for, and the work that you do.
Yeah,
Mm.
of course. First of all, thank you for holding this platform for all of us to share. Again, this is like the power of technology for all of us to be able to come together and have this meaningful conversation. So thank you for that, for being able to create such a platform for us to actually have meaningful and productive conversation. Yeah, like you said, I work in digital marketing, and specifically in this field, technology is extremely important. I mean, an entire industry has been
Mhm.
created because of technology. There would be no digital marketing if there was no technology. Online marketing, being able to reach a wide audience. This is all because of technology. A lot of industries are being replaced because of technology as well. Just the high street in itself, if you look, many high street shops are closing down simply because of technology. We've got the Amazons that are taking over.
Yeah,
And
Amazon
this
is
is,
taking over. Yes.
yeah, and this is all because of technology. Um, that power to be able to reach a wider audience, to reach a global audience, just from your device, that
Hmm.
is absolutely powerful, and it's changing and disrupting systems that we have known, and it's something that is only going to continue to grow. Whether people agree with it or not, whether they like it or not, it's something that's going to continue to grow simply because of the impact that it has and the ease of reach. We're able to connect with family members, even on a personal level. We're able to reach to family members, which was a difficulty for
Hmm.
many of us. I'm sure we remember a time, some more than others, when being able to connect with relatives overseas was difficult because you needed a phone card or you needed something. Now we've got WhatsApp, we've got Instagram, we've got all of these things that allow us to connect. So that has
Hmm.
been the impact of technology. It's allowed us to connect. On a business level, you can reach a wide audience. You can
Hmm.
tailor your product to suit a specific type of person. You can just imagine who you want to reach, and just by the way you market yourself, you're able to reach that person no matter where they are in the world. So
Hmm.
that is extremely powerful in itself. Technology has changed lives all over the world. So it's monumental. It's absolutely
Hmm.
monumental and very powerful. I think the biggest thing I would say is that the biggest advantage of technology is reach, just being able
Yeah,
to have wider reach.
to reach out.
Yeah,
And no business can, you know uh, cannot do any job without technology
mm,
these days. So.
absolutely. I don't think there is any industry today that actually operates without technology in some way or another. There is some form of technology being used. We all have a mobile phone. Like
Mhm.
we're connecting over the phone, especially during this pandemic season as well. Like we've connected more over the phone than in person, more than ever before. So
Mhm.
this is all down to technology.
And the beautiful thing is that you can, work wherever you are. You can also work it for a
Absolutely.
company that is like 1,000, miles away from where you're
Yep.
staying
Yeah.
at and stuff. And that's the reason why you're also connecting with people as far as Uganda and stuff. So, there you go. Benefits of
Yeah.
technology. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to you. We're gonna come back to you. So we've got, our comrade Takudzwa Tsungora. You've got a bachelor's in international, relations, MSc policy analysis and global governance, and that's still pending. So you're still an undergraduate. You wrote two books, Shona novels. Yeah, two Shona novels. The Wondo Ye Yamaide. Is that did I pronounce that well? And then Netsai. And then the other interesting thing about you, that you are a ZANU PF, secretary, commissariat in North Cyprus and Ataki. You're interested in agribusiness, poultry, farming, project, basic commodities and stuff. And the other beautiful thing I think about you is that you want to connect with everyone, even most people at the moment in Zimbabwe, are against our elders and stuff. So you're still with the elders. Hopefully that you will be able to educate them, so they
Yeah,
can embrace,
yeah.
change. So yeah, so what can you, tell us about the benefits of, technology, your experience, with technology and stuff, and over to you.
Well, thank you, our hosts, and to the panelists and our audience. May I say to you, revolutionary greetings. Well, it is my honor and privilege to be on this platform. It is a platform that I do not take lightly. Coming to the matter of the day, I can say that, or I can support the fact that technology has played a very fundamental and significant role in our lives. I will categorize my contribution into three. First and foremost, we speak about the government, how people were being governed before, and now we want to draw a comparison. Long ago, people used to depend on newspapers, what has been printed. What the government wants people to know is what they would know. But now, these days, due to technology, people have got access to information, even the information which these politicians do not want people to know. People now have access to such kind of information. So I can give an example. Today I was seeing on Facebook a dozen of members of parliament who are corrupt. They have been arrested by a particular president, and it's all over social media. It's now easy to access news. And also on that same note on governance, there is this issue which has been on the tables of debate for a long time. When we look at the organizations like International Monetary Fund, organizations like the United Nations, SADC, and so forth, their aim is to help and improve the lives of the civic society. But now when they make donations to these particular individuals, particular societies, these donations, they come through the government, because it is the government which represents the people in the United Nations, the International Monetary Fund. So long ago, the government had the chance to abuse the funds that could have come as help to the people. But nowadays, due to technology, it is now easy for them, the International Monetary Fund or for SADC or for United Nations, to trace and see if these funds or donations have reached the societies which they are intending to help. Coming to my second point or contribution is that technology has helped me in particular as a writer, as the host has said. I'm a writer. Unfortunately, I only write in Shona. Fortunately or unfortunately, I only write in Shona. Some of the
Shona is a language, so it's as good as English.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, the novels that I write, it has been so easy for me to write those novels, and it has been so easy for me to reach the gurus of this industry. I think if you see behind me, there are some awards which you are seeing. Yes, I'm an award-winning writer. So this technology has helped me to communicate with gurus in the industry of writing, people like Aaron Chundura Moyo, people like Elias Machemedze, who are known to be best writers in Zimbabwe. But I have done that through technology. I have only done that through technology and no any other connections. They have been helping me, they have been grooming me, and they have been shaping me to become a very good writer. And coming to my last point, I can say that technology has helped a number of people in terms of knowing the cultures of different nations. Look, we are living in a globalized world. It won't be surprising that I can go and marry in Ghana, I can go and marry in United Arab Emirates or elsewhere in the world. But now, it then becomes hard for me if I do not know their culture. So through technology, I am able to know there's agege bread in Nigeria, they eat jollof rice, they eat fufu. Even though I haven't eaten it, I know what they do and all that. But I have accessed that through social media, through yes. So now, and the other thing, this something that we have to take advantage of in technology is that let us learn how to socialize with people. Let us learn how to talk. Let us learn how to conversate with people. If you go on YouTube, you can see all these things. And even to my fellow men who are not able to approach ladies, there are some lessons on YouTube. You can learn that very well. Learn how to take a woman on a date through YouTube.
Well, that's right.
So,
that's right.
I can say technology has helped us so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. It looks like technology has been more beneficial, to you with your books and stuff. Now you can just publish things online. Nobody can, silence anyone, and it's easy to have a good audience online or connect with people, even if you're, not near them, 1,000 miles, connecting with people, teaching you how to do stuff and all that. And the other thing that you mentioned was, corruption being exposed through technology, which is a good thing. Um, so hopefully, you know, uh, now our African countries are gonna, see meaningful progress because of that technology being people, exercising like things like integrity. So we don't know how far true is that. You mentioned things, institutions like SADC and 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 AU. So they're young people here. Young people, they like authentic messages. So you know, I would challenge young people also to take these people to task, even if they are using technology to expose corruption and stuff. We want to know whether the things that they're doing are authentic or not, or they're just covering up. Um, but hopefully they're gonna catch up and do the right thing. We don't want corruption. So thank you for that. Um, so the next person, we've got Laurette Tetero, all the way from Burundi, and she's also based in Cyprus. She's 21 years of age. Yeah, an artist, also a musician, um, actress, and also you won an award in 2019 because of the beautiful work that you've done. I've listened to your music. It's even if I don't understand the language. You've sang a few songs in English, and they're more inspiring. They're about just uh, in making people to be turn these negative things into a positive, about love and stuff. So which is beautiful. And you're also an entrepreneur. You've got a product that you've put there in the market. That's a shower gel. which has got a brand name, and that's Lorette or Titero Lorette, and that's your name. Um, and you mentioned that the the reason why you've ventured into businesses and stuff is because you don't want to rely on music um, only, but you also want to be an entrepreneur and inspire our young ladies out there that you don't have to just rely on one thing to make an income. And these are also the benefits of technology, starting your business, online business and stuff. And you know uh, from your bedroom you've reached a lot of people, and thousands and thousands of people are following your work and stuff. It's you only started from a bedroom. um, you're also doing like work in your community, um, working with the young girls and stuff, with regards to sexual health, and also the environment of Burundi, to make sure that it's a a healthy place, and that they follow in the things like climatic change and stuff. So can you just tell us about the benefits of technology with regards to your profession, and reaching out to people and learning from other people and stuff, and also starting your business. What are the benefits that you've seen, that you can share with people out there, because it's all about learning from one another. Over to you.
Okay. First of okay. First of all, thank you very much for the floor. I'm very happy to be here and share the platform with such great leaders like you all. Technology has been, I think, even whatever I do actually has the foundation on technology. And so I do music. When I make a song, I just post it on YouTube, and people are going to give me views, and I can get some money. Or something that was that made technology special for me was during the pandemic, and in my country, an area in my country was had floods. The lake flooded until the to the places where other people were living, so people became homeless. Hurt by that, especially when it comes to education. I'm more into education, and I was very worried about the kids. I was like, okay, what are they doing? How are they going to survive? And how are they going to keep up with the studies? And we just came up with some friends from the diaspora, Burundian
Hmm.
diaspora. We just came up with an idea. We're going to do a fundraising. It was so unrealistic. We collected something like 10,000 euros, and we distributed to the community, and we could build classes, and buy them books and drafts so that they could keep up with the studies, but also have some food. So that has technology has been the foundation. I was doing that from my room on campus. So technology
Yes.
has really helped, yeah, doing how can I fulfilling my visions and help my community. Now, there is something that I like also about technology. You can hire people from your bedroom. You can give jobs. Even I
Hmm.
have a from my Facebook page, you can see people, Facebook is asking you, are you hiring? And for instance, if you have something you would like to be done, you say, okay, I'm hiring, I need someone to do this for me. And that,
Hmm.
I can say that also, that is an advantage of
Technology.
technology. Now, what I love the most, I'm from Burundi, and we've had issues with ethnies. We've had, genocide, Hutu against Tutsi, and it's been such an advantage because
Also, you
you
guys are
get
next to
to hear
Rwanda.
that. Yeah, but it's the
I,
same
I,
story.
it's the same
It's
story.
like,
Okay.
yeah. So now you just get to know the story. When we have even a Twitter account, the government have a Twitter account where they tell us everything that has happened from their side of the story, and you can also have learn from other people who are commenting. People who've been through the genocide, and I think that's really priceless because it just helps us get heal from the wounds that our parents. I wasn't there during the genocide, but then I knew my parents were hurt, so I just get to hear from that, and
Mm-hmm.
love my neighbors and just know my history. I
Oh, she's
Oh,
tripped out. Yeah,
yeah, the technology,
technology.
but yeah,
Yeah.
she will come back and continue. Okay, she's here. I was gonna move to John, but she's
um,
here. You're
I'm
back. You're back.
back. I'm sorry with the internet. Now, I was saying that I also got to, educate myself when it comes to my self-development.
Hmm.
I learned how to play guitar. I don't need a teacher. I don't need to pay for money and go outside and listen to teachers. I just
That's e-learning now. Hmm.
Yeah, now I learned from the internet, or even when I need some relationship advices, I just type on Google, "Hi Google, someone say this to me," and what does it
Hmm.
mean? You don't have to go on trial and make some mistakes. That's very important for some people.
You don't
Now
need to go to
I
expensive
think
schools. Yeah.
Mm.
No, I just said you don't need to go to expensive schools anymore because there's school of e-learning or YouTube, which is very cheap. Go ahead, go ahead.
okay. The last thing is also now I can work and study at the same time because of the e-learning.
Hmm.
So you get knowledge, but also you get money thanks to technology.
Thank you, thank you. You've highlighted a lot of points. Oh, she's gone again. But
Mm.
yeah, she's highlighted a lot of points. You know,
Yeah.
just teaching yourself, music and stuff, and you know, not having to pay a lot of money to all these, expensive institutions to learn how to, you know, uh, play a guitar or an instrument and stuff. You can, just get it on the internet now, and also, you know, writing songs in a bedroom, um, putting them online and getting, a lot of audience. These days, artists, you don't need to be, managed by a lot of people. You can just manage your audience through internet. Back in the days, they will, arrange shows for you, etc. But now you've got, you know, uh, a bigger say in your career because of technology, which is a beautiful thing. So we're gonna come back to you. Let's move to um, Long John,
Yeah.
the comedian, boy from Chimani Money.
Hmm.
So, you're an actor, you're, an MC, writer, you're a director, graphic
Yeah.
designer. You also won the 2019, National Arts Merits Awards as the
Yeah.
Outstanding Comedian of the Year, and
Hmm.
also the Savannah, Comic Choice Awards as the Pan African, Comic of the Year, and then the People's Choice Award in Steve Harvey's stand-up, spotlight competition in 2019. And we want
Yeah.
you to tell us, how did you manage to get hold of this guy?
It's actually
And yes, in 2020 as well, the National Merit Awards as this, outstanding, comedian. So you're doing a lot of things. So yes, how did you manage to get hold of this guy, and also tell us about the benefits of technology and
well,
stuff? Over to
thank you
you.
so much for having me. That was a long introduction. It's like I paid you to say all of that. Yes.
She's advertising.
You're doing great. You're doing well. So yes.
Yeah, man. So So yes, man, technology has actually helped me quite a lot. And someone was talking about technology helping, men to date. It actually helped me to date, guys. Like I became so good at dating. I was dating a girl for 3 years, and she didn't even know about it. That's how good I was. You see, she never found out. That's how good. So I come from Chimanimani. I grew up in Chimanimani. I was raised by my grandparents in Chimanimani. And when I was a young kid, I was always curious, about technology and gadgets, you see. And it has actually helped me in comedy. If it wasn't for the internet and technology itself, I wouldn't be a comedian I am today. Because I found out from the first day that I needed to network. That was it, networking for me. Because the first ever show that I've ever performed at, I looked for a show in Harare, and I found a show on Facebook at Book Cafe, and for that I was just networking, and I went to Harare and I performed for the first time ever just because I had networked with someone through the internet. These were the first days when the internet was being introduced, to Zimbabwe. We were very slow on internet. It came like after a long, so that's what happened. So I got my first gig, although I was booed on stage that first night. It was so bad, the guy threw a chair on stage while I was performing. Yes, he was like, I'll stand, get up, I'll stand the whole show. That's what happened. So, for real.
But you never gave up.
Yeah, I never gave up because I fell in love with it, Actually, when I discovered comedy, because my grandparents used to love watching comedy on a small black and white TV. So I remember watching Bill Cosby, and I said to myself, I want to be able to do that when I grew up. So networking was always the key. I kept on networking, Although I was learning, I kept on networking to find those gigs. I did the same thing when I came into South Africa. I was networking through the internet, just talking to comedians, meeting other people through the internet. You see, so same with Steve Harvey. That's what happened. I found a competition online, right? And I actually set a reminder that as soon as the application forms are online, I'll submit. And then I got a notification. Yes.
You didn't need to fly to America.
I didn't need to fly to America. It was all through the internet. So I applied for this thing, and then I forgot about it. Totally forgot. And then after like 4 or 5 weeks, I received a message saying you've actually entered in the competition. Your submission was accepted. Congratulations. I was like, okay, all right. and then the competition was now running. And then all of a sudden, I received a call from a friend of mine saying, hey, do you know that you just won? Steve Harvey said you won the competition. I'm like, what? Guys, he even tweeted and everything. And they messaged me. They're like, we would like to meet you. I'm coming to South Africa, blah, blah. And I actually had to meet Steve Harvey face to face. I could spend the day in person, the day with him, learning from him. And it was so amazing just because of internet. You know what I'm saying? Just because of just that internet and networking with people. So that's what happened. Guys, this is what happened. When I met Steve Harvey, I did a mistake. I took a photo with me and Steve Harvey, and I put it up online. And then all my ex-girlfriends were calling me, apologizing for me cheating on them. They're like, sorry, you cheated. Sorry, you cheated. They come back. So internet is now bringing back my exes. You see what's happening here?
Connecting you with the old flames, eh?
That's what's happening. So it has actually helped me a lot. So through the internet, I have managed to build an audience for myself. Yeah?
Yes, I was saying, don't hurt their feelings and
they know themselves.
And stuff. Yeah. Go ahead. Go on.
So I was saying, because of internet, I've now I now manage myself, and do you know that I went to school from grade 1 up to Form 4, and I didn't know how to read. You know that? I didn't know how to read.
You mentioned
and
that.
Write. Yeah. And I had to teach myself how to read and write through internet. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The English that I'm speaking today, I had to, to go to see how, like, I used to watch a lot of movies, a lot of stand-up comedy, and I learned how to speak English from that. I learned how to speak English through the internet. I learned how to network and everything. So it was, for me, it's all about, you know, the internet, and it has actually helped me in my career. And I manage myself. I even learned how to do graphic design. You know, I do graphic design. I do for other artists also. Other artists come to me for graphic design work that I've learned through the internet. You know what I mean? So for me, the internet is the main thing that actually helped me to do what I do.
Someone with a gadget that's
who's playing African movies. I can hear my
who's playing
Azuka there.
African music.
We have no idea.
Yeah, there's a bit of noise. Is there someone watching movies or something?
I think it's a delay. I think it's me speaking, and then so you can mute everybody else. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can hear myself. Yeah, that's good. That's
okay, that's good. Yeah, you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
So yes. So for me that was it. The internet has helped me a lot in learning, and to come to think about it, it was not even a big thing. Like, especially when I started, I used to have this phone, and Motorola V360. That phone that if it rings, you have to go like, and then hello. It was nice those days, right? So that's what happened. So it was a small phone, but with that small phone, I managed to start my career with that little small phone. So yeah, like what was the name from Burundi? She was talking about technology is actually the foundation of, you know, what she's doing. That's it. That's the truth. Yeah.
Starting, you know, from a bedroom and stuff, and also,
exactly.
you know, Rutendo mentioned that she taught herself, you know, English through, you know, technology and stuff, and also,
exactly. That's
even
true.
you at school, they, you know, teachers when you know didn't see this future that you now, you know, sharing with
funny enough.
Yeah.
Funny enough, this is what happened. I remember when I was in school, having a cell phone was illegal in school. If you're seen with a phone, you'll be punished, right? That's what used to happen. And I remember one day, one of my teachers called me, like, "Hey, June, come here. Hey, show me how do you call someone on this phone? But listen, you don't allow this phone. That you want me to teach you now." You see what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
So yeah, that's elders for you. They are resistant to change, but they will catch up. They will catch up. Later on, they you know, they're gonna embrace it and stuff. So yeah, we'll come back to you.
Awesome.
With the, you know, Taku Sahana, you know, you obviously you grew up in the UK. You came here when you were 9, so you didn't know a lot of, you know, you don't know a lot about, you know, Africa and stuff, even though maybe you visit now and every then, and but then with the, you know, with technology, you mentioned that you've managed to, you know, work with people who are based in Africa, country like Uganda. Can you tell us about your experience with you know, these people that you've been working with in Uganda? What has been also the, you know, the challenges that you faced working with people in those areas? If there is any challenges, maybe we can, you know, talk about what should we do to resolve these things. Over to you.
Yeah. So I came across actually they reached out to me. It was a orphanage in Uganda. It's run by a young man in his early 20s. He's doing it by himself, and he needed help with setting up a website just so that he can get funding, so that people can donate. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it? So
yeah,
he's looking after about 25 children. by himself, him and another lady,
Mm-hmm.
who is the cook. But so he needs help and he needs support because he can't do it all by himself. It's a passion of his. That's why he's doing it, and he's doing it for God's kingdom as well. That's his background.
Yeah.
He grew up as an orphan as well.
Uh,
So what can I do to help? So
mm-hmm.
I connected with a web developer, to see what we could do, and as far as we're concerned, we're ready to get things going, but we are limited because the banking system in Uganda is everything is just delayed. We want to set up so that he can get an account so that we can start to set the systems up on the website for people to donate. But he's struggling to open a bank account. Banks should be running for people to give them money, but it's a struggle for him. And every day we're like, oh no, nothing yet, nothing yet, nothing yet. And we're just wondering, like, what is the hold up? Like, just this limitation with technology in Africa. And it doesn't seem like it's just an issue limited to Uganda, because this web developer,
Mm-hmm.
he's based in Zimbabwe, and he's saying that it's everywhere. It's everywhere
It's
here.
everywhere.
These
Yeah.
countries, he's like, you're in a proper country. Where we are is not a proper country. I was like, oh, please don't say this about my. It's hard to it's hard to receive, but at the same time, when I'm experiencing it firsthand, that it's actually a
Mm-hmm.
struggle just to get things rolling simply because of the limitations of technology. That's when it becomes a reality.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to figure out, what can we do? What can we actually do so that things can get moving? Lives can be transformed and things can change simply because we have effective systems in place. And that is what we are struggling with right now. We don't know what to do. We have this new generation of people who are able to reach a wide range of people just by being on. I discovered him on Instagram. I would never have known about
You do need to
an
go to
orphanage
Uganda
in
as well.
Uganda.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. I would never have known about this had it not been for social media. So we have our generation doing all these things and connecting and reaching out and doing what they can do through technology, but we still have things that are limiting us in our system. And it's like we're going forward, but then we also are still being held
They're
back in
also.
some way or another.
So what do you think, what can be done, with this, experience that we had, trying to, sort out the banking system so it could be connected to the website?
It's a political issue as well. I think it goes beyond just the individual at some point, because then you can do what you can in your own power, but then there's also a political aspect that has to be addressed, and our leaders need to also step up. They need to see what's going on the grounds. We cannot be trying to do our best and picking up where we can in our power, but our limitation is because our leaders are not doing their parts. And I don't mean this in a harsh way, but it just is what it is. We have systems in place in the West that allow for things like this to happen. I can go tomorrow and decide
just
to
like
open
that.
a bank account as long as I've got my ID, my proof that I am who I say I am. Everything is set up right there and then, but it's not the case there. It's been weeks and we've still got nothing. So it's just that frustration of, why are we always, it's a mentality thing as well. So it's like, why are we always the ones who are having to play catch up? Why are we always the ones who are having to struggle to get things moving?
So in other words, you're saying there's maybe things like poor leadership. You mentioned things like maybe, there's lack of professionalism. So, we need to, speak to these people, educate, these people, as we are educating one another. Education is more important, so we can transform, the minds of, these people, because, technology is more beneficial. They will benefit from it as well. Doing that transaction, to transfer money from, any part of the world, the government also benefit, from those
Absolutely.
transactions, foreign currency and stuff. So it's about thinking outside the box, and and it's beautiful thing that you millennials are now thinking outside the box. You can, challenge the system, make them, make these changes and stuff. So I guess the challenge is about, yes, we say it is about corruption or, lack of professionalism and things. So these are the things that we need, to address in these developing nations so we can bridge that gap. So, other, millennials in these developing nations can, benefit from this because there's, money, uh, we learn from technology, you know, our communities do progress because of that. Okay, so we'll come back. Let's move to our comrade, uh, comrade Takuzo. So you highlighted that you are interested in, agribusiness, poultry, farming, all these other things. So this is you want to do this in Zimbabwe, right?
Yes.
Or any part of the world. So yes, with regards to Zimbabwe, there are challenges. Is it coming from?
Yeah, who's suspicious here? I'm looking at your faces. Someone is suspicious looking.
I can hear a noise.
Me too.
Is it still on? Yeah, I can hear noise. I don't know where it's coming from. I'm trying to figure out where it's coming. Okay, we're gonna continue. In Zimbabwe there are a lot of challenges, but these things can be done because we've got resources. We are an a farmer country. We were once the basket of Africa, bread basket of Africa, actually. So, wanting to do these things, what are the challenges, you have seen in the country of Zimbabwe that can be, addressed in order, for young people to venture into agribusiness, poultry, and farming, and just benefit more and make a lot of produce and empower themselves. What are the challenges that you've seen in Zimbabwe?
Thank you so much, our host. I say that the challenges that I have noticed is that our political economy has gone out of hand. Instead of us running the economy, politics is overriding the economy. So you will realize that if I am a member of ZANU-PF, I want to do business, and everyone knows that I support ZANU-PF. Anyone who is not into ZANU-PF, anyone who is against ZANU-PF, they make sure that they don't buy my product. Simply because I have decided, we said we want a democratic world. We want to live in democratic countries. First and foremost, democracy allows me to choose a political party of my choice. It also allows you to choose to support whoever you want in politics. But before we choose the leaders that we prefer, let us put the lives of people first. So Africans, we have been overridden by political division. We have created walls and barriers which are behind the political borders. So up and until we are able to cross those political borders, until we are able to put politics aside and begin to do business, then young people can prosper. We may talk about the challenges of our currents. Yes, it's a challenge, but it is in the process of gaining its power. But before we get to the currents, just social environment. The environment is not conducive for business. Right now, I am scared to construct commercial structures. Why? Because members from any political party, which I will not want to mention, can come and burn it down simply because I have decided to support a particular party of my choice. Recently, I've seen people boycotting a particular product of milk simply because it has got a similar shape with that one of ZANU-PF building. They say, no, we are going to buy this product. At the end of the day, people are going to suffer. So may I say to my fellow young people, let us not be divided by political parties which we don't know how and where they started from. And probably we are not sure who started them. But young people, we are being used. We are being divided by those leaders. We are being used to bring each other down. So politics, we need to revise our politics. We need to upgrade our political game and begin to do business. Let us look in America. There's no one political party in America. There are several parties. But one thing they put first is their economy, the lives of their people. So Africans, that is what we must do. Let us improve Africa first. Let us put business first. Anything that benefits Africa, it is worth of our support. Anything that benefits the economy of Africa, it has to be supported regardless of who is bringing on the table.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, earlier on we mentioned that, the tech-savvy millennials, they want messages that are authentic, because if you're not authentic, you'll be found out. So yes, you mentioned, this division when it comes to, politics and stuff and all that. But then we have to also go find out, about the root cause of this division. So we shouldn't look at, the fruits that, okay, people are divided because of this and that. So something must have happened before. So we have to revisit our history, with regards to politics and stuff, and ensure that the leadership that is in our developing nation is the type of leadership that can secure the future of the people. Maybe that's where we need to, go to. I'll give an example of, a country like Rwanda. There was genocide, back in 1994. She's the neighbor of Rwanda. But, they came together. They decided to, change their way of thinking. They put everything on the table. They didn't hide anything. And everybody in most African countries, they thought it was going to be impossible to see meaningful progress in a country like Rwanda. But today we're saying they are almost there to be the first world country because they changed their mindset. They answered every problem that was in Rwanda. They called a spade a spade. So I think maybe that's another thing that we need to do in every African country. Or
on that note, the problem that we now have with most young people, especially when they look at the economy, let me take Zimbabwe as an example. Most people of my age, when they comment about politics, what they only say is that when Smith left Zimbabwe, or when Smith left power, Zimbabwe was in its good state. When the white farmers were still in Zimbabwe, everything was going so well. But the same person who is speaking that, they have built their house on land which they have been allocated by the same government which took land from the white state. Today, let us look at our neighbor, South Africa. They used to boast about their economy. Let us take away all the whites who are in South Africa and see if the economy of South Africa will remain as it is today. So now, let us begin to look at facts. Apart from there, going back to Zimbabwe, when people talk about the history of Zimbabwe, nobody wants to mention about sanctions. We have got an overwhelming evidence on who is calling for sanctions, who called for sanctions. We have got the documents that are there, videos and all sorts of confirmations that you may want, all sorts of evidences that you may require. So we are saying it is not only the ruling parties in Africa which are damaging the economy. Even the opposition parties, they want to be in power, not to lead the people, but for them to take power only. So they do anything to take power. They do not care, even if they are destroying the lives of people. So what I'm saying is that we need to look at both sides. Of course, there are also challenges of the abuse of power, challenges of democracy from the government. I don't deny that. But let our leaders come together. And when we judge these political leaders, let us not only blame those who are in the position. Let us not only blame the ruling parties.
All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And yeah, I think we've had your point and stuff. And another thing I think that we need to also do is ensure that the young people are more responsible, because you are, the change of tomorrow. So we can come together and also bring solutions, and not just wait for these political parties to be making decisions for us. Because yeah. So yeah, going ahead, let's go to Long John. Have we got any input towards what has been echoed? And also the one thing that I need,
Okay. Great, man. Okay. With me, I feel like to bridge the gap, in the marginalized areas, technology, it all starts with electricity. There's a saying that says, any place where there's access to electricity, it shall be prosperous. Electricity is the key, right, to technology. That's the first thing, you see, because if you start with electricity, then we can go to introduce they call it communication and information technology, right? Communication technology, how to communicating with other cities, communicating with other schools, sharing knowledge, sharing information. Information technology is where you learn. It's how you learn. How you Google. You learn how to be an engineer through the internet. So I think if you want to bridge that gap, in Africa, is we need to include technology in our schools. That's the thing that we need to really focus on. Because why not include technology in our schools? Why not teach our kids how to use that cell phone? Why not teach our kids how to use that computer? Because those are the things that are being used today. You know what I mean? Because if you look at it, like I said the other time, having a phone, even today in schools, having a phone or having a laptop, a computer in some schools, it's illegal in some schools. You can't even, you're not even supposed to be seen with that. You see? So how are we teaching our kids, our students, to become engineers or to become, the tech surveys when we don't allow the technology in our schools? Doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So let's include that. That's what I'm saying.
So let's change the curriculum. That's what you're saying.
Let's change it. Because even maths, if you look at how people study maths nowadays, it's no longer a chalkboard only. We include technology. Because some kids are more visually, I learn visually. That's me. I have to see it visually for me to understand it. You see? So imagine if like in China, they have this thing where they teach their kids, about the earth, but it's there. They show you the earth. They show you everything. They show you how it works. You know what I'm saying? Kids, that's how kids learn. And if you start teaching our kids that way, guys, I'm telling you right now, our kids will be engineers and and doctors and stuff like that. Of course, our economy cannot allow that. Of course, we don't. The government is not, giving computers to schools and stuff like that. Of course, so that comes. Someone was talking about corruption and stuff like. Someone is donating money, but someone somewhere is eating the money. Someone
for their personal gain.
Exactly. So it all starts from our leaders also. It all comes back to politics now. You see, for this to change, the government has to change the way they do things and the way they think and the way they solve solutions. That's what I think. Yes. I'm just a comedian, so I don't know.
Now you said it well, but our leaders, they need to change, think outside the box.
Exactly.
Think about other people, not have long-term goals. And like we're always gonna go back to Rwanda.
Oh yeah, you love Rwanda. Did they give you land or something?
No, because the thing with Rwanda is the poster child of progress.
I know.
In Africa.
I know.
So we can use that as an example. They started thinking about long term. Like, okay, in 10 years' time or 50 years' time, what is the country going to look like?
Today, plastic bags are illegal in Rwanda. Tell me one country in Africa where they ban plastic bags. In Rwanda, it's illegal to be seen with a plastic bag. They know that they're protecting their environment. They understand this. But I'm telling you right now, everyone in this chat room here, you've thrown away plastic on the ground. Last week, all of you.
in Burundi, they are doing it. Unfortunately, the internet is cutting off our sister Laurette. She's also involved in such organizations to ensure that the environment is kept well and stuff.
Exactly.
So
that's actually another disadvantage of internet also, when we're like our cars and they're damaging the ozone layer, and then everything, and the weather changes. In Chimanimani we had a cyclone, so-called cyclone, it destroyed everything in Chimanimani, and that's all caused by the gases in the air. Things are changing, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Okay. Let's go to our elder. Obviously, yes, you like technology to a certain extent, but you also highlighted certain things in our previous conversation, that we should balance things when we're using technology and stuff. So what are your concerns?
My concerns are several, really. Concerning technology. I'm also looking at us being the consultants for Africa Dementia Service Development. You realize that even people here in developed countries, when they are looking after elderly, their memories go back. They will start to live a previous life. So as their memory is going back, and maybe today I'm using all this technological system, and but when I go back 20 years before now, I don't remember this type of phones. I'm looking for a dial phone. You understand? This is what my reality now is. So if we throw away some of those gadgets, and this generation is growing older as well, you are growing older, and as I said before, we are eradicating diseases, and so it means you are going to grow much older, maybe into your hundreds. You need to realize that when you are now developing memory problems because of your aging, people who are aging are more prone to dementia. You are going to find difficulties in utilizing what you are calling technology today. So you have problems adjusting in that environment. I think maybe that time we'll be having flying cars. And so what you need to do is have a museum of what you are using now, so that time you will go back into your houses and use what you are using now when you go back 20 years. You understand? So it's a really a challenge for my clientele of people I support, because people with dementia, we have to create environments which are conducive. I saw some panels, some houses in Africa, they are building some pavements with panels of different colors. And I was saying to them, the more you say this is beautiful, the more I actually see the flaws in your pavement. Because the person with dementia might actually have illusional problems. They will think that it's a wall and they will fall. That's why they are having falls all the time in your environment. So yes, technology is good, but it also has some flaws. And look at how in the relationships here now, people are talking to their gadgets, and I was saying a woman can actually be chatting a man somewhere, and the husband is then next to her, and the husband is also chatting to the girlfriend, and the sons and daughters are doing all sorts through their gadget. No one is seeing them. You put a lock, you put a letter L, whatever on your phone. No one can access what you're watching. How are we going to control what comes through our phones through the technology, the data we are going to push to people in terms of nakedness, obscenity, and yet our culture in Africa, for instance, has not been nakedness. It was not like that. But technology is bringing nakedness. Look at how 11-year-old, because they've got a phone, they are into prostitution. They are doing all sorts of things because they can access these things. And they can practice on YouTube. Some of these things which are not censored are pushed through. I saw one day in a WhatsApp group where I am, it was obscenity, it was pornography, really. When I looked at it, I said, how was this video allowed? Real pornography, men, actually, it was men who were naked. Not women this time, but men. Naked, I mean naked, nothing on. And I don't know what they were doing, they were teaching some women some stuff. But you see, this is what the technology is doing. And that video was not censored. And now it's on social media. It's going on and on and on. What is it developing in our mindsets? In the young kids' mindsets, now you hear 13-year-olds sleeping with prostitutes. Where is that 13-year-old seeing all these things? So I look at technology and I say, how are we going to censor it? In our African culture, where we had extended families, and we are sitting with I'm sitting with my in-laws and my grandchildren and my whatever. We are watching a film, and then there comes nakedness. How are we to do this? In my culture, I can't be watching and commenting together with my in-laws these things. So there are things which we say are good and are bad. Lack of jobs, all these things.
Yeah. So in other words, you're saying, yes, let's embrace technology, because when you look at Africa is a young continent,
Yes.
and a lot of things are now happening. We're seeing a lot of progress because of technology. Companies are being formed, and people's lives are being changed because of technology. But at the same time, we should also look at all these negative things that are coming up, like what you're saying, nakedness that we're seeing in you don't need to go to what do you call see pornography. Pornography is, you can see pornography on Instagram. That's the point I'm trying to.
Yeah,
So
can you send me the video? I want to see it. I want to see if it's true. Can you send me the video? No, after research purposes.
The problem is, if I send you that video, I might actually be imprisoned in the United Kingdom. It's real pornography. I actually came out of that group when I saw that. I said, no, I can't be a holder of such, because I hold a very big position here in UK. I can't be seen doing that.
So as we're embracing technology, we should, also ensure that, our minds or our children are not corrupted, by this technology and stuff. And we can learn from the developed nations, the disadvantages and advantages of, having technology. But I believe that the advantages, they do outweigh the disadvantages. But those disadvantages that we've seen, like what you're talking about, pornography on internet and stuff, we have to ensure that we do away with those things, or have control measures. But technology is here to stay. We're moving
Yeah,
forward. It's going to change our lives. We
yeah,
can't do anything about that.
yeah.
We are now relying.
I wanted to suggest about how we can make the elderly people buy into this idea of
Yes.
technology. I think what you millennials need to do is international
Teach them.
conferences to teach, to
Teach
call in people who
the
matter,
elders.
call in, yes, call in the change agents in the society. You need to look at how we can embrace them in the conferences and discussions like this. Because when you call them, you show them what internet is doing, you show them what technology is doing, the advantages of us being a global community. It's easy for you to call in these people. Just identify those who are people of influence at that level. Those who are elderly and stuff, they've got also people who influence them. So call them and say we have a conference, and we chat with them and we show them what this technology has done and why these blockages should not be there. And I also think that if we do exchange program whereby you young people can go into Africa, and maybe you say we are targeting, was it Burundi where you are having problems with the bank? You go in 10 young people.
Uganda.
Yeah, Rwanda. Is that Rwanda? Yeah.
Uganda.
Uganda. Go there as a group of people, young people, and say, here we are scientists. We have come to exchange our education with you, and take some of them, young people from there, bring them here, so that bring them in developed countries, so that their mindsets can change. We really need to do this, and we need to find a way of financing our programs, so that you don't just hear, but you are heard by everybody. You advertise these programs on Facebook, and then so many people can access.
Yes, we're kind of running out of time.
Okay.
I think
we can't exhaust these points. Well, hold on a little bit. I'll come to you. But we're running out of time, and we want to hear from Laurette. She mentioned a lot of benefits with regards to technology. It's it allowed her to progress well when it came to her career, and she's got a lot of followers. She started from a bedroom. She didn't need to spend a lot of money. She's in her country now, Burundi, and she's a humanitarian. She helps in the communities and stuff and all that. So yes, having seen these benefits and enjoying also these benefits, but you've also seen a number of challenges, like in your country of origin. So what are those challenges, and what can be done to bridge that gap, to ensure that they benefit from all these beautiful things with regards to technology?
Thank you. From my experience, what I have seen around, technology is expensive in this country, very expensive. But I think it's a general case in all countries. But for my case, $1 is 2,000 francs, almost. And in Burundi, some families can't make 2,000 francs a day. So saving money to buy a laptop or a PC in your room is very expensive. And something else I would really like, because I'm into education, so I love children, and I would like to see the children having enough computers, enough laptops for them, to make their research. or to read books, to find books online. There are some books that you can't find on hard copy, so you have to go and maybe buy them from Amazon. And you just have, if you go in some schools that are elites, you'll find 4 to 5 students using one computer. So that I want it to become more affordable in the country. And even the internet, the Wi-Fi, as I said, $1 is a lot in Burundi, but you find, for instance, you have the fiber, you have to pay something like $200, and that's too much for someone from my country. So you're going to find that now technology is only benefiting privileged people, not those people who are going, who are going to help raise the country. Because I've seen that change does not only come from the privileged people; it also comes from those people in
from
countries
everybody.
like,
Yes.
yeah. So if they could have access, we have electricity, we have places, we have classrooms, but then we just don't have enough, I would say, enough materials for them, to keep on educating themselves. And yeah.
So that's one thing that needs to be looked into.
Yeah.
So is when it comes that, I don't know if you're well versed when it comes to politics or leadership in Rwanda. How are they distributing in Burundi, the resources and wealth and stuff? Do you have an insight of no?
No,
Yes.
no, I'm not that much into politics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But at least
Yeah.
you've highlighted, the challenges, and it looks like it's a common thing when it comes to developing nations. We lack resources and stuff, and uh, they're not equally channeled.
Yeah.
People that are more privileged, they're benefiting more from it and stuff, and we have to dig deeper and ask ourselves questions and say, okay, what can we do to ensure that everybody benefits,
Yeah.
because it's about everybody, and we have to also ask even our leaders, community members questions. uh, how are they distributing resources, because leadership is about securing the future of the citizens, or any challenge that we face, we bring it to the table so
Uh,
we can
I,
acquire money and resources to help these people. Yeah, you wanted to say something.
Yes, I actually think it also has to do with what Mordre was talking about. It also has to, I would say that the elders are not really aware of the importance of technology in this modern world, because they've been, how they've been studying, they were reading books, writing down, and they didn't have that much access to something like YouTube or whatever. They only have Microsoft. For instance, my father once, he gave me he said he would like me to help him with something very important. And what was important for him was, the Yahoo Messenger notifications. And I was like, see, so we just don't have the same issues. And I think it's just hard now to make them understand that we really need their support. If you tell an African parent that you need a laptop, he's not going to understand. But if you tell him,
Ah,
okay, yeah, if you tell him, okay, I would like to maybe to take it to buy a book, a hard copy book, he's actually going to give you all the money he has. You say, I would like to open a library, they are going to give out enough money for you to, to make it to accomplish that project. But when you
okay.
say, yeah, I would like to do something that is related to technology, maybe an online library, they're
Uh-huh.
not really going to understand, and they feel like they still, I don't know if I'm wrong, mom.
Oh yeah, I think you're echoing the same similar things, that we need to educate the young and the old. We shouldn't leave the young people, the old people behind, so
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can transform their mindset,
Yeah.
because the world is growing because of technology, and they also need to learn one or two things about technology so they can embrace it.
It's true.
And
When you listen to Mom Joy, she says, she complains about what people are doing. Oh, I've seen this kind of movies, I've seen this kind of videos. So they
mhm,
don't have this aspect, this educational aspect of the
mm,
internet technology. So
yeah.
we need to, help them understand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're running out of time. We're running out of time. We've gone beyond. I'll give people, give you 2 minutes just to round it up. Um, okay, over to you, Rutendo. Can
Um,
you tell us about the challenges and you know uh, that you've experienced, and how can we bridge the gap, like in 2 minutes,
okay.
or your thoughts?
It Okay. I think that, like you're mentioning, that we need to educate both the old and the new generation, especially in the marginalized areas. I believe that we have to do something. It's us. It starts with us. We have to do something right now. Not just to wait for the government or channeling our energy towards,
Mm-hmm.
making the government hear us and all that. I believe that we need to start doing something, even as much as we are going to try to convince the government to do something for us. We also have to do something. We have to start doing something. And in the
Once.
marginalized areas, if we can go, like, I don't know if we're gonna go and do seminars with the
Yes.
children in the primary areas. We
Mm-hmm.
go and have seminars with them from one school to another, so that we prepare them for the future. Because,
Yeah.
like you mentioned, that technology is just going to even grow much bigger
Yeah.
than it is right now. So we need to
Mm-hmm.
start educating them and even expose them and prepare them for the future
Mm-hmm.
of this technology. So we need to do something. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking from experience that I've learned there, and there was no escape. I was still going to come across this technology. But if we start preparing the children from a young age, it's to their advantage. I wanted to be a journalist, but then because of some, lack of resources, yes, I am somewhere, but if I had learned something during that time, maybe I could be somewhere else. So it's
Mm-hmm.
our responsibility. I believe that it's our responsibility. We need to take responsibility as the young generation. And
Yes.
to just echo on what Long John said, that if you have electricity, you progress. I don't know the quote
Yeah,
that you said.
Yeah.
You'll be
copy and
successful.
paste. Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
Exactly
Okay.
that one.
Okay.
I think that sometimes we were failing, not because we were not reading or we're not good enough, but sometimes, you spend the whole day in the field. You are trying to balance life so that you have food to eat before you go to school, and then to the following day you're just going to school. But for you to then read, you have to use a lamp, and it was very difficult for you to get even paraffin and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if we have electricity, we will. I know some people who used to go to a school in the night, during the
Mm-hmm.
night, just to study for an exam at the rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
think electricity is going to take us a long way if we're gonna
Okay.
introduce what do you call it, solar, I don't know, or
Yes.
Thank you.
something.
Thank you for that.
And
Okay. All
yeah.
right. All right. We don't have time. Um, Thank you for highlighting, the electricity issue. And like we said, Africa has got, the
Natural.
sun. The sun is abundant and stuff. If you can, Africans can put their heads together, they can, invest in that area. Solar
Yeah.
system. It's not rocket science. It's not difficult and stuff. And like how Mojoy said, we need to start producing our own products, and also looking at long-term goals. You know, not about, okay, what should I eat tomorrow, but what, like, what are the young people, or next generation, uh, how are they going to benefit in the next 10 or 15 years or 20 years, and then we can venture into these long-term projects. um, Okay, quickly to our comrade. What are your conclusion in 2 minutes?
Well, thank you so much. I don't know what's happening with the panelists. They are
Okay, yeah, we noticed that the noise was coming from you. You know, the sound, it was coming from you.
because I'm Zambian.
No. You see, now I've muted you, but there's this sound. I don't know what are you using. Are you using the headphones or?
It's the government. They want us to talk about this.
Okay, go ahead. After that, we'll mute you so that other people can. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Well, the point that I wanted to make is mentioned before, but anyways, but this on it. Using renewable energy sources is a very big advantage us. And can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, sorry, someone was calling me. Okay, I was saying using renewable energy sources is a very big advantage to most of our people who are in the villages. Why? Because when we look at the ratio in Africa of people who are in cities and the people who are in the rural areas, we will discover that it is 70% of the population is still in the rural areas and only 30% of people are living in town. So if we focus much on the people who are in town, we are not doing anything. Why? Because the majority is in the marginalized societies.
Yeah.
So now let us go there. You know, this meeting or this war talk show, if we do not agree on taking action, we will be caricatures of ourselves. Until we rise and begin to take action, then we can begin to live our way.
Yeah.
Tell me how many United Nations conferences have been held with the agenda to improve Africa, and today Africa is still underdeveloped. Tell me how many mega deals have been signed by our government, but up to today our people are struggling. So we may fall in the same trap. If we do these ceremonial things of just coming here, we air our ideas, we go back home and sleep. So I'm challenging us here to say, let us just choose one country. To say, as we are here, we are going to focus on one country, one small society, and improve that society. Then we see that all our ideas are useful. If we discuss these things and leave them on the internet, it means our ideas are useless because we are not living in those ideas. So us, we have had the grace to have these ideas. Let us, after this meeting, let us make a WhatsApp group. Let us agree. Let us contribute money to go and improve one particular society. Then we can say we know what we are doing. Then we can say we are true leaders. If we don't do that, we are ceremonial leaders, and that's the first step of failure. Failing to live your way is the first step of failure.
It's going to be the
Thank you for that.
The next
we can focus on a lot of.
I am a politician. One day I want to be a minister and not a president, just a minister. But I would want people to see action.
Okay.
It takes a lot to be a president. I would want people to see action.
Okay. In other ways, you know, with politicians, we know that they're not, leaders. All they do is, promise you a bag of maize and t-shirts
during elections.
But we want you guys to be true leaders that can secure the future of the people. So what you've said, that we must be practical. But the other thing that I can also add is that we shouldn't necessarily focus on one country. We're a global community. We can focus on multiple areas to improve our society. It can be done. We're using technology. We can connect and share ideas. And the other example that I can go back to is Rwanda again. So we don't need to focus on one. We don't need to focus on one country anymore. can use that one
President of
as a
Rwanda.
poster child to do more in different areas. That's a
Yeah.
good successful example. Anyways, so anyway, we don't have
Okay,
enough
so
time. Okay, we'll give you
my
30 seconds. You give you 30 seconds and move
all
to.
right. My last point is that when technology was introduced to Africa, we embraced a stranger. When we talk of technology, it is a society which has no constitution, a society which has no boundaries, a society which has no morals, and at the same time, it is a society that can benefit us. So now we introduced laptops and all sorts of things related to technology into schools, but we forgot to teach our people on what is technology per se, the benefits of technology, the dangers of technology. So we are parading
I
a
think
stranger to our
what
people.
we're
We are publishing
echoing.
a stranger to our people. Cultures have been eroded because of technology. Many things have happened because of technology. I don't want to go deep into it. But the point that I want to make is this. Let technology be an independent subject that is taught in schools. People must be taught, our young children must be taught how to behave on social media. Our young
Okay.
children must be taught what to post and what not to post. Many people are losing jobs because they are posting nonsense on social media. When you internet does not forget. You post something, but internet does not forget, even if you try to delete. You share a
Even all
good
those
picture with someone, as long as it is on internet.
even all those ministers in Zimbabwe, they just post things. Like, anyway, we got your point. We got your point. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, Taku, can you just give us your summary in two
I'll just
minutes?
say something very, very brief, which is just
Yes.
that from overall, my my takeaway from this is just that technology is a very powerful and useful tool. It's a tool for us to use. It's a tool for us to all get involved with. So it depends on whose hands it's in that we make progress or we regress. So now we're here. We have had this conversation. Like our comrade has said, we need to take action and use this technology, put it in our hands for good to empower our people. So that is my biggest takeaway. It's just technology is a tool. It's a tool. So let's use it for the right purposes. That's all I can say.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. And then Long John, what are your
Yes.
conclusions? What is your
So,
summary?
Michael, we are talking about, information and teaching our kids, through technology. But we forget that the information that is on the internet, it's mostly, not our information. We have, in Africa, we have, like, they have a saying where they say, if an elder dies in the village, it's like a library burned down. Why not take the knowledge from the elders in Africa and put it up on the internet so that it's able to be accessed by our children, our kids? Because, yes, someone said here, Africa shall rise. But I think Africa shall rise again, because at some point in history, Africa was on top. We had the medicine, we had the technology, we had the art, we had the music, we had everything. We had community. We were the first people in the world to settle down and build a village and build a community, and build plumbing. We had flushing toilets. Like, it's crazy.
Even mathematics in Egypt. Okay.
Exactly. So our history has been destroyed, and we're westernized into thinking that only the people out there they're smartest, but most of the things come from Africa. Medicine is mostly African. You know what I'm saying? So that's my
like we've got the resources and stuff, and so yeah,
we have everything.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for that. Taku was kicked out, but
she excused herself. Yes.
Okay, she excused herself. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, beautiful people, for your invaluable points and stuff about technology. Mentioning the benefits. Is it mentioning the benefits of technology, and also to be aware that there are also things that are negative when it comes to technology. So it's a matter of balancing things and running with it, because the world is taking that direction, and the young people making a lot of good changes, good impact in our communities. They're influencers, but we also want them to to be more practical,
Yeah.
to the extent of even joining this institution, even the government or
Yes.
these powerful institutions, to make changes.
Mm,
Because if we don't do that, change will not come.
mm.
We look at the example of this movement that started, the NSAS thing, that what started through Twitter. It made a lot of impact. It shook Nigeria. But then, just because we don't have enough good structures as a young generation, we couldn't they couldn't follow it up effectively. So you guys now, you have a challenge of being more practical, not just influencers. Like our comrade said, we're not going to be making all these talk shows and stuff and not doing anything about it. We are the future of tomorrow. So we are the change. We're gonna see progress because of us. So that's all I have to say about that. And thank you, beautiful people. uh,
Yeah.
Continue, yeah, with
Yeah.
the beautiful things that you are doing, and increasing the network as well, connecting with one another as Africans. So, and so thank you, beautiful people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
It was great.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Nice
Thank
meeting
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.